Welcome back to Zana Vibes, where martial arts meets legendary storytelling. Prepare to witness epic battles, inspiring warriors, and timeless lessons that transcend the fight itself. Subscribe now and become part of a community that honors the way of the warrior. Turn on. In the heart of an occupied China, where streets echoed with fear and pride lay trampled beneath foreign boots, one beautiful woman refused to kneel. Lin Xiao, a Chinese warrior of the old ways, draped in the colors of her kung fu ancestors, stood before the enemy, a fierce Japanese swordwoman, Captain Aoki, whose blade had silenced many who dared resist. Under the burning sun, Lin Xiao walked through the Japanese soldier gates, her wrists bound with thick rope. Two Japanese soldiers escorted her, their rifles resting on their shoulders as they led her toward the heart of the occupied town. The dirt road was lined with villagers, men, women, and children watching in silence, their eyes filled with fear. They had seen countless executions, but today, something felt different. At the center of the square stood Captain Aoki Masako, the ruthless samurai and sword master of the Imperial Army. Her katana gleamed in the daylight, her stance commanding absolute power. The soldiers took their positions as the Chinese villagers could not assist due to fear. Aoki stepped forward, her lips curling into a smirk. "Is this your warrior? This woman?" She paced in front of Lin Xiao, her voice laced with contempt. "A frail body. No weapon. Nothing but empty pride. What a disgrace." The soldiers laughed, their jeers echoing through the square. Lin Xiao, however, remained unmoved. She met Aoki's gaze, her voice steady. "You mistake silence for submission. You mistake restraint for weakness. But a true warrior does not speak with arrogance, they let their actions tell their story." Aoki's eyes darkened. "Then let us write your final chapter." She drew her katana with a deadly hiss, its blade reflecting the fear of the onlookers. "Kneel, and I may spare your life." Lin Xiao did not move. "I do not kneel before steel. Let your blade prove your worth." And she was given katana to challenge Captain as the habaki is removed on her weapon. Aoki reached for her fallen sword, but Lin Xiao placed her foot on the blade, stopping her. There was no mockery, no cruelty, only wisdom. "Your strength lies in your sword. Mine comes from within," Lin Xiao said, bending down to lift the katana. Other Japanese soldiers held their breath. Would she strike? Would she take revenge? Instead, Lin Xiao fly-chicked the officer and offered the sword back. A moment of pure honor. A lesson in true strength. Aoki hesitated, then took the blade in anger, but in silent respect the silent warrior. One by one, the watching Japanese soldiers lowered their weapons. They had come expecting to crush a spirit, but had instead witnessed its unbreakable force. The story of Lin Xiao spread far and wide, reaching the hidden corners where her people still lived in fear. That fear turned to pride. That silence turned to hope. And so, under the rising sun, the legend of Lin Xiao the Crimson Phoenix was born. Aoki lunged faster than the eye could follow, her katana whistling through the air, aiming straight for Lin Xiu's heart. But Lin Xiu shifted, just enough to let the blade slice through empty space. Aoki struck again, her attacks relentless, her movements sharpened by years of discipline. But Lin Xiu moved with the grace of flowing water, evading each strike without effort. The crowd gasped. No one had ever seen a warrior fight like this. Aoki gritted her teeth, frustration flashing in her eyes. She adjusted her grip and launched a final, furious attack. Lin Xiu seized the moment. In a single fluid motion, she stepped inside the blade's arc, twisted Aoki's wrist, and sent the katana flying from her grasp. Aoki staggered backward, her breath uneven. For the first time, she knew defeat and humiliation.